Project description. The Western Sydney Airport project involves the development of a sustainable and innovative project in Western Sydney. The airport is to function as an international, domestic and freight hub, strategically positioned to meet the escalating demand for air travel within the Sydney region, which is expected to finish by 2026. The project encompasses a comprehensive scope including the site preparation, runway construction, aviation infrastructure, all with an anticipated economic infusion of about $2 billion into the city's tourism and real estate sectors.
As the company was conceived in order to implement the project, its financial status is directly tied to the project. Western Sydney Airport's financial status can be perceived as strong and financially independent. With a debt ratio of 12%, Western Sydney Airport sits comfortably, relying primarily on equity financing and investments, thus being immune to economic downturns and interest rate hikes. Further to this, a current ratio of 2.74 is indicative of a highly liquid company, meaning Western Sydney Airport are able to pay off debts in a timely manner. It can be argued that they are a safe company. However, as the company is solely based off the Western Sydney Airport project, they are not in a position to pursue further projects. Simultaneously, the net income is at a loss of -$309,507,500, as the Western Sydney Airport is still under construction. The company is unable to earn income until that is completed.
Project alternatives. Our first alternative, Alternative A, requires an analysis of the Western Sydney Airport project without the introduction of any modifications or the integrations of new aspects. This involves overseeing both the current and ultimate financial status of the project and its commitment to sustainable construction practices and long-term viability. Alternative B. Our Alternative B suggests incorporating sustainable and recycled materials in the construction of the project. This entails using materials like recycled asphalt, metal, and copper for various components of the project. These materials can be sourced from local suppliers and initiatives supported by the New South Wales Environment Protection Authority, EPA. This approach promotes cost-effectiveness, environmental sustainability, and the development of a circular economy.
We'll move on to project costs. Costs incurred throughout the 9-year project life include capital, operating, maintenance, employee costs, and salvage value. They have all been taken from Western Sydney Airport's 2022 annual statement. Estimations have been applied to the salvage value using historical bid prices taken from recently awarded contracts of the same company. Project costs for Alternative A amount to $11 billion. Using parametric estimates, cost projections for the period 2023 to 2026 utilize the percentage of completion for each component of the airport. The remainder cost is calculated by multiplying the current cost by the percentage of unfinished development. Alternative B incurs a total cost of $10.7 billion, roughly $300 million less than A. The lower cost lies in a $320,000 decrease in airport construction costs due to the use of sustainable and recycled materials that are cheaper. The salvage value of these recycled materials have also been updated to the final project cost.
The main benefits of the Western Sydney Airport project are economic growth, as the airport is expected to stimulate economic growth in the Western Sydney region by also creating jobs, both directly within the airport and indirectly in surrounding industries. The economic boost can lead to increased business activities and improved living standards for the local population. Furthermore, the airport project will lead to the needed development of associated infrastructure, including roads, public transport, and utilities, further enhancing connectivity to the region. Providing a new gateway to and from Sydney through the airport allows for the induction of international trade and also boosts tourism in the area, further increasing the GDP of the Western Sydney region.
Regarding to the cash flow statement, we have developed some assumptions. The project life cycle is about 9 years. It started from 2017 and it will finish and in operation by 2026. Since it's an ongoing project, the number from 2023 to 2026 is assumed. The depreciation will be calculated based on the declining balance depreciation method. The inflation rate is 5.4% for every year. and there are no investment in working capital as well as there are no borrow funds. The operating activity of the projects is around negative 9.5 billion for the net income for both alternative. The projects have a 6 billion capital investment upfront, and again the losses on the depreciable assets with 50 million for alternative A and 76 million for alternative B. In financing activities, they don't have any borrow funds, but they have an investment as an equity injection from the Commonwealth of Australia. In general, the cash flow between two alternatives share the same tendency. The cash flow was negative for first 4 years, and then the cash started to flow in 2021 at 110 million. It is expected that the projects will have 1 billion with a B cash flow in the final year.
In terms of the financial viability of the Western Sydney Airport project, we've examined both alternative approaches. Alternative A has a payback period of 3.63 years, a positive NPV of approximately $73 million, and a BCR ratio of 1. However, the IRR being a negative value of 8% raises concerns about meeting the required rate of return. Alternative B focuses on utilizing sustainable materials and has a payback period of 2 years, a positive NPV of $70 million, and a BCR ratio of 1. Like Alternative A, it also has a negative IRR of 8%. Both options aim to generate positive returns, but the negative IRR in both cases presents challenges. While the projects can recoup their initial investments within a relatively short payback period, the negative IRR suggests that long-term profitability may not meet financial objectives. As such, it is important to further analyze the risks and opportunities associated with each option for a more comprehensive evaluation. The risk analysis involved identifying and assessing potential threats and opportunities, including construction delays, regulatory changes, cost overruns, economic downturns, political and community opposition, and market fluctuations. A risk matrix was used to evaluate these factors, which can be seen here. Grey-coloured boxes represent Alternative A's risks, yellow was representative of Alternative B's, and green was used to highlight common risks across both. This provided us with the understanding that Alternative A carries higher risks due to its higher risk ratings. However, considering both financial metrics and qualitative risks is crucial when evaluating the project's financial viability, which I will now hand over to Daniel to do so.
Thanks, Trish. A sensitivity analysis was performed to analyze how deviations in financial elements affect the project's net present value. Revenue, costs, depreciation, salvage value, and discount rate have all been identified as critical variables that impact the overall project success. A deviation of plus or minus 20% has been employed for each variable to demonstrate the potential change in net present value. Input values used include the current net present value as well as internal rate of return. The results from the sensitivity analysis showed that the project cost is the most impactful element of financial status, affecting a range of plus or minus $1.7 billion to the final net present value. Operational and manufacturing costs have been used to determine this. Discount rate and salvage value have also been identified as critical elements as seen in the sensitivity graph.
Recommendations. Should the proposed project be developed? Yes, the project is highly feasible because of its ability to generate profits after 2026. The Western Sydney Airport is not relying on profit generation during the construction phase, but rather when the airport begins to open. How should the project be developed? The project should apply Alternative B to the development of the airport. Alternative B's payback period is 1.6 years less than Alternative A. How will the project enhance the company's financial status? The financial status of the company shows a negative ROI. This is true, but anticipates long-term financial benefits once the airport becomes operational. Weaknesses in analysis. The cost-benefit ratio is not an accurate measure because the airport will only generate profits after completion. Alternative A's net present value is $2 billion more than Alternative B, and the lack of detailed information regarding additional project costs beyond 23 also poses an issue.